At my best friend's baby shower, she pulled me aside, patted my hand, and said, "You're basically the practice friend, the one you keep around until real life happens."
İster daher skitiles.
That same night, I found out she had been lying about something huge, and when I confronted her in front of all our friends, her whole world crumbled in minutes. I'm Rachel, not my real name, 36 years old, living in Dayton, Ohio. Samantha, also fake name. And I met in high school when we were both 15. Right away, we just clicked. We weren't the cool girls. We weren't the popular ones. We made fun of those types together. We stayed up all night talking about dreams we had, who we'd become one day. I thought we were going to be in each other's lives forever. I thought wrong. We stayed close after high school. Even when life got messy, we were there for each other. When she got kicked out by her mom at 20, I let her crash on my couch. No rent, no pressure. She lived with me for almost a year. I made sacrifices for her without ever expecting anything back. She got her life together eventually. Started working at a marketing firm downtown, started dressing fancier, got herself a newer car. I was happy for her. Proud even. Then she met Adam. Older guy. Ran some real estate businesses. Had money. You could see the way she lit up when she talked about him. Finally, she was getting the life she always wanted. I started hearing from her less. Sometimes I'd text and get no answer for days. When we did meet up, it wasn't like before. She'd spend half the time scrolling on her phone or talking about the new people at her job. Fancy new friends with names like Brielle and Tinsley. People who wore designer clothes and spent weekends at lake houses. I tried to ignore it. Told myself friendships change. But a part of me felt her pulling away. When she announced she was pregnant, it felt like a way back in. She called me crying. Overjoyed. I cried too. I was happy for her. She asked if I would help plan her baby shower. Of course, I said yes. I spent weeks helping her organize it. I ordered the decorations. I made favors by hand. I spent way too much on the perfect quilt for the baby, personalized with the baby's name embroidered in soft blue thread. When the day finally came, I showed up early to set everything up at her house. Her house was perfect.
Big. Bright.
Decorated like a Pinterest board come to life. I could see she was proud of it. When guests arrived, Samantha was floating. Laughing, glowing, moving from group to group like a politician at a rally. She looked beautiful, I'll admit it. She had that kind of polished, magazine cover look now. New friends clustered around her, coworkers snapping photos. I stayed back, making sure the food stayed filled, and everything went smoothly. Like always. Supportive. Invisible. About an hour in, after the cake cutting, she pulled me aside into the hallway. I thought she was about to thank me. Instead, she smiled in this weird, pitying way. She put her hand on mine and said, real soft, "You know, you've been my practice friend. The one you keep around until real life happens." I stood there, frozen. I actually waited for her to laugh, to say she was kidding. But she didn't. She just squeezed my hand, like it was a favor she was doing by telling me, and then she floated back to her guests. I didn't move for a good minute after that. I felt like someone had knocked the air out of me. All I could think was, I gave you years of my life. I was there when no one else was. I loved you like family. And you think I'm just practice? I nearly left right then. But something stopped me. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was the small, bitter voice inside me saying no, stay. Watch. See what she really thinks of you.
So I stayed.
Later that night, after most of the guests left, I was helping clean up. That's when I heard her and her sister in the kitchen. They didn't know I was around the corner. I heard Samantha laughing. "I can't have OP as my maid of honor," she said. "She's sweet, but she's, not exactly who I want in my wedding photos forever. She still shops at Kohl's. It's just not the image I'm going for." Her sister cracked up laughing. Samantha said, "I'll pick someone more polished later. Someone Adam's family will actually be impressed by." I stood there, gripping a dirty plate so hard my hands hurt. That would have been enough. More than enough. But what came next changed everything. Because I remembered the secrets Samantha begged me to keep. Secrets that, if they got out, would destroy this whole picture-perfect life she had built. See, Samantha had built her new life on lies. She told Adam she had a bachelor's degree from University of Cincinnati. She didn't. She flunked out after 1 year. She told him she had never been married before. She had, to a guy who later got arrested for meth possession. She told him she had never cheated on anyone. But she was cheating on Adam with her ex for months after they started dating. Worse yet, the timing of her pregnancy didn't add up if you knew what I knew. There was a real chance that baby wasn't Adam's. She had made me promise never to tell, said it would ruin her life. And for a while I kept that promise. Because I was loyal. Because I loved her. But standing there, humiliated, realizing she saw me as nothing more than a charity case, something inside me snapped. I was done protecting her. I stayed up that whole night planning exactly how I would expose her. Not quietly. Not one-on-one. I wanted everyone to see it at the same time. The new friends. The co-workers.
Adam.
His parents. Her family. Everyone she was so desperate to impress. The perfect opportunity came the next weekend. She threw a big friends and family barbecue at her house. Kind of a last hurrah before the baby came. Everyone was there. Adam, looking proud and stupid. His parents, who clearly thought Samantha was some kind of prize. The new fancy friends. The old friends she hadn't cut loose yet. I showed up with a bottle of wine and a fake smile. Waited.
Watched.
Bided my time. Toward the end of the night, Samantha stood on the patio to give a speech. Thanking everyone. Talking about new beginnings and family and love. Fake, fake, fake. When she was done, people clapped. She smiled like a queen. And that's when I made my move. I clinked my glass. Loud enough that the patio went quiet. Samantha looked nervous. She tried to move on, but someone said, "Let her talk." So she had no choice but to nod at me. I stood up and said, voice clear as day. Before we toast to Samantha and Adam, I just want to say how inspiring it is to see someone overcome so much. Dropping out of college, getting through a tough divorce, finding love again, even after some complicated relationship timelines. Dead silence. You could hear the wind in the trees.
Adam frowned.
His mom stiffened. Samantha's face drained of color. I kept going. And it's beautiful, I said, how Adam loves her enough to raise another man's child without even knowing it yet. There was a loud crash. Someone dropped a glass. Adam looked at Samantha like she was a stranger. What the hell is she talking about? He said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Samantha stammered. Her sister tried to jump in. Adam cut them both off. Is it true? Samantha's voice cracked. It's not like that. Adam turned to his parents. Is this the woman you were so excited about? People were whispering. People were filming. I saw 2 of her fancy new friends slipping away to their cars. I didn't stay much longer after that. I didn't have to. I heard enough walking back to my car. He was shouting. She was crying. His parents were furious. I didn't sleep much that night. Even after what I did at the barbecue, I couldn't calm down. Part of me felt powerful. Part of me felt sick. This wasn't just petty revenge anymore. This was real. I had started something that couldn't be undone. The next morning, I woke up to 15 missed calls. 3 were from Samantha. The rest were from numbers I didn't know, probably Adam's friends or family. I didn't answer any of them. Later, my friend Claire, one of the few true friends I still had from high school, called me. She said, "Girl, you need to get on Facebook right now." Samantha's Facebook page had exploded. Someone, probably Adam's mom, had posted a long, ugly post tagging Samantha, Adam, and half their circle. It said things like, "Some people build their lives on lies. Money can't buy character. A man deserves the truth about the child he's expected to raise." The comments were brutal. Old classmates chimed in, people from her job, even people she barely knew. The pictures of her and Adam were disappearing one by one. It was like watching her life unravel in real time. 2 days later, I heard the worst for her, best for me. News yet. Adam had hired a lawyer. He wasn't just leaving her, he was going after full custody if the baby turned out to be his. He didn't believe her anymore, but just in case. And if the baby wasn't his, he planned to sue for fraud based on her lying about paternity while spending his money. I should have felt satisfied. But weirdly, I didn't.
Not fully.
There was still one thing I couldn't stop thinking about. The ex. The real father of the baby. I knew who he was, Derek. Samantha's loser ex from back in the day. The one who sold weed out of his mom's basement. The one who Samantha swore she was completely done with when she started dating Adam. But she wasn't done. Not even close. I made a choice. Maybe a cruel one. But at that point, cruelty didn't scare me anymore. I reached out to Derek. At first, he didn't believe me. He thought I was playing some kind of trick. But when I showed him screenshots, texts between me and Samantha where she admitted she messed up and said the baby is probably yours, he got real interested real fast. He was furious. He thought Samantha was using him as a backup in case Adam dumped her. Which, honestly, was probably true. Derek wasn't smart, but he was stubborn. And petty. And he had nothing to lose. He wanted to claim the baby. Wanted everyone to know Samantha wasn't some classy, reformed woman. She was still the same girl who partied too hard, cheated too much, and lied too easily. At first, I thought he might back down. Maybe threaten her a little, but not actually do anything. I was wrong. Derek didn't just call her. He showed up at her baby appointment. Imagine Samantha, huge belly, sitting in the OB office with her mother, when her ex strolls in, smirking, demanding a DNA test in front of the entire waiting room. She tried to call security, but it was too late. The scene got loud. Embarrassing.
Public.
Everyone heard. Everyone saw. And the worst part? Someone filmed it. The video hit Facebook later that day. By the end of the week, Samantha's perfect world was ashes. Adam was gone. His parents were telling everyone she was a liar and a manipulator. Derek had filed paperwork for paternity rights. Her job found out about the Facebook mess and asked her to take an indefinite leave, which was corporate talk for, "You're fired, but we're trying not to get sued." And me? I watched it all from my little apartment, sipping coffee, feeling not exactly happy, but right. But it wasn't quite over yet. Not for her. And not for me. Because Samantha wasn't the type to just take a hit and stay down. She started messaging mutual friends, telling them I had set her up, that I had always been jealous of her success, that I was obsessed with her life. She even tried to spin it like I trapped her with Derek, like I coached him into filing for custody just to ruin her. Some people believed her. Some didn't. But the real twist? One of the people she tried to turn against me knew something even worse about her. When Samantha realized her world was burning, she didn't try to fix anything. She just got meaner. She started messaging our old friends, the few people we both still knew from high school, trying to poison them against me, telling them I had always been jealous of her, that I couldn't handle her success, that I ruined her life out of spite. Some of the old friends bought it. Some didn't. But the real twist came from someone I never expected, Lacey. Lacey was an old friend of Samantha's from college. Not someone I had ever been close to.
Kind of quiet.
Kind of serious. Lacey messaged me out of the blue one night after all this went down. The message said, "Hey,
I saw what's going on.
I need to tell you something about Samantha." We ended up talking on the phone for almost 2 hours. Turns out, Lacey had her own history with Samantha. And it was ugly. Back when they were roommates in college, Samantha had gotten into trouble. Bad trouble. She had stolen money from Lacey's savings, a few $1,000s Lacey had saved up from working part-time jobs. When Lacey confronted her, Samantha cried, made up some crazy story about borrowing it because her mom was sick and she was desperate. Lacey believed her, at first. But when she asked Samantha to pay it back, Samantha ghosted her, moved out, blocked her on everything. Lacey had filed a police report, but nothing ever came of it. Too messy. Too small an amount for the cops to care much. Lacey moved on. But she never forgot. Hearing all this made my blood run cold. Because it meant the Samantha I thought I knew, the friend I gave so many years of my life to, never actually existed.
She had always been this way.
Selfish.
Sneaky.
Rotten. She didn't just lie to protect herself.
She used people.
Hurt people. And she never once felt guilty about it. That's when it clicked for me. Samantha wasn't just a bad friend. She was a bad person. And everything happening to her now, it wasn't just karma for what she did to me. It was karma for a lifetime of hurting everyone who ever cared about her. But Samantha wasn't done fighting yet. A few days after I talked to Lacey, I got a letter in the mail. It was from a lawyer. Samantha was trying to sue me for defamation. No joke. She claimed that my speech at her barbecue caused her to lose her job, her relationship, and her reputation. And that I had knowingly spread false information about her. I sat there on my couch holding that letter and just laughed. Because here's the thing, nothing I said was false. I had proof of everything. The dropped-out college enrollment papers, Lacey helped me get a copy. The marriage records, easy public search. The text messages where she admitted the baby might not be Adam's. If anything, I had been too gentle that night. Still, the threat of a lawsuit scared me for a minute. Lawyers are expensive. Even if you're right, fighting a lawsuit can drain you. But I wasn't alone. Because remember Derek? The baby's real father? He wasn't happy either. In fact, when he found out Samantha was threatening to sue me, the person who helped him find out he had a kid, he lost it. Derek hired his own lawyer. And that lawyer sent Samantha a cease and desist letter so fast it made her head spin. It basically said, any further harassment of Opie will be seen as retaliation in a potential custody case. Samantha's lawsuit threat died right there. She didn't have the money. She didn't have the support. She didn't even have a stable place to live anymore. But the damage was done. Not to me.
To her.
The few friends who had wavered, the ones who weren't sure if I was the villain, saw that she tried to weaponize the legal system against me after everything she had done. They dropped her, one by one. And the worst part for Samantha? Her baby was due in just a few weeks. She was alone.
Jobless.
Living in a tiny two-bedroom apartment with her mom and her alcoholic stepdad. Facing the real possibility of losing custody of her kid to a guy she didn't even want to admit she still had ties to. By the time Samantha's due date got close, she had nothing left but anger. Every message she posted online was dripping with it. Every old friend she tried to call either didn't answer or hung up. She even tried posting about me publicly. Long, rambling Facebook posts calling me a snake, a jealous cow, a fake friend. At first, I laughed. But after a while, it started to wear on me. I wasn't innocent in all this. I knew it. I hadn't just exposed her. I had planned it. Waited for the right moment. Made sure it hurt the worst. And deep down, I enjoyed it. That scared me a little.
Because what did that say about me?
Still, the wheel had already been set in motion.
And it was too late to stop it now.
The night everything truly ended was 2 weeks after the baby was born. Derek demanded a DNA test immediately after the birth. He showed up at the hospital with court papers and a lawyer. It caused such a scene that security had to get involved. The test came back. Derek was the father. Not Adam. Not anyone else.
Derek.
Samantha lost it. She refused to let Derek see the baby. Refused to give him any information. She even tried to run. Packed up the baby and left town, moving in with a cousin 3 counties over. But Derek wasn't playing games. He filed for emergency custody, and the judge granted it. 3 weeks after her baby was born, Samantha had to hand her newborn over to Derek, under supervised visitation at first, until the court could figure out a custody plan. It broke her.
Completely.
She posted one last time on Facebook. A long, broken message. I lost everything because people couldn't mind their business. Because people I trusted betrayed me. Because jealousy is a disease. I hope you're happy. After that, she deleted all her accounts.
Gone.
Like she never existed. I didn't feel happy when I saw it. I didn't feel victorious. I felt empty and tired. I thought about messaging her.
To say sorry.
Not for exposing her lies. I didn't regret that. But for how cruel I had been about it. For planning it so carefully. For letting my anger turn into something that dark. I even typed out a message. But I never sent it. Some things can't be fixed. Some friendships, once they rot, don't come back. Samantha made her choices. She built her life on lies. She used people. She burned bridges. But I made my choices too. I chose revenge. I chose public humiliation. I chose destruction over just walking away. And once you choose that path, you don't come out clean either. I learned something from all this. Not every enemy needs to be destroyed. Some people will destroy themselves if you just step out of the way. But if you step into it, if you decide to help fade along, you better be ready for the cost. Because revenge always has won. Always.